Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be creating Doctor Who fan art. And just as a warning, I will be talking about the season finale of Doctor Who that happened on March 1st, 2020. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch today's video, because spoilers. I created this art because I was inspired by the beginning of the Doctor Who season finale episode where there's a floating Cyberman head in space, and it reminded me of Handles. And if you don't know who Handles is, he is a Cyberman head that the 11th Doctor had, and he named him Handles. And he was present in the 11th Doctor's last episode. And when I saw that head at the beginning of the season finale, I just knew. I knew I had to draw Handles in space floating. It just called to me. So I decided to do this painting on a smaller scale. As you can see, I painted on this cotton paper, which is 5x7, and this cotton paper is so beautiful. I don't have any cotton paper. This is the first time I ever painted on cotton paper, and it was beautiful, and drawing on it was beautiful. I don't know what else to say other than it was beautiful. But I bought this cotton paper because there's an art store near me and it was closing down, which is really sad. And I'm really sad that the first time I ever discovered this art store was when it was closing down. But there's another location a little farther away, which is good. So here, I'm just putting all my Doctor Who memorabilia, my Funko Pop dolls, and everything. And I know some people like to keep their pop dolls in their cases, but in their boxes, in the original box. But I don't like to do that because I don't have the space, and I'm not going to give this away anytime soon. This is going to be with me for the rest of my life, so I keep them out. You may also notice I don't have the 12th Doctor. And that annoys me because I have 10, 11, and 13, and I skipped 12. It annoys me. Now we are getting to the first brushstroke, and look at how beautiful that is. It is so vibrant on this cotton paper. Now I know why everyone likes cotton paper, because you get beautiful colors like these. It is so beautiful. And this is Arteza gouache, so it's a pretty cheap gouache. It's still a good gouache, but it is cheap, and it made it look so bright and beautiful. Just look at it. Look at how the red and yellows just look so bright. It's so beautiful. It's like the first time I ever painted on cotton paper, and it turned out like this, and it's so beautiful. I'm gonna say beautiful too many times. For my color palette, I used some leftover paint that was on my palette because I don't like to waste paint, and I thought since this is a space scene, there will be multiple colors, and I already had like yellow, red, purple, blue on my palette already, so I thought might as well just reuse those colors so I don't waste any paint, save some money in the long run, even though it's only a little bit of paint. So yeah, so this is just leftover paint. This is the first time I ever did a space scene, so I watched some videos on YouTube of other people doing space scenes, so it was a little tricky. I tried to be very loose because it's space, it's not symmetrical, it's not perfect circle, it's supposed to be like messy, and I don't know, like just let it be free basically. I wanted to be free, so I didn't really worry about if the paint ended up on the Cyberman's head, Handles' head, because with this painting I really wanted to be loose and not be so exact, so precise is the word I'm looking for. in the last video when I did the shiny bedroom, I was very precise because there's little details, and there's the merchandise that was in the room, which is man-made, so it's very symmetrical, very you have to be precise. I said that already. But with this, it's a Cyberman head. Yes, it has to be precise, but I wanted to make it more loose because he was not a normal Cyberman. He was a friend of the Doctor, and I didn't want to create him so precise to represent that he wasn't soulless, because I always felt like Handles had a soul, kind of, even though he was just a Cyberman head. He had a soul. Cybermen were once human. So that's why I didn't want to be so precise in this painting. And even with the TARDIS, I was not precise. And I think going forward, I'm going to try to be more loose with my paintings. It was fun to do this shiny bedroom. Sometimes it was a little annoying because of all the small knickknacks and everything. But it was, for the shiny bedroom, it was too precise, and it was too, like, it was just too perfect. I don't know if I want to use that word, but that's the only word I can think of right now. With this is more loose. It's not perfect. The colors bleed into each other. Some of the colors from the space scene, from the space background, is bleeding into the Cyberman. Handles his head, but it makes it look more lively, which makes the painting look more interesting. And if you noticed, I didn't do this intentionally, but the yellow is like, it looks like with the yellow background, with the yellow part of the space scene, it looks like the TARDIS is like beaming the Cybermen to the TARDIS, to the Doctor. I didn't do that intentionally, but I'm glad it happened. It's like a little happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. And the accidents happen in painting. Sometimes a color ends up where you don't want it, but it ends up making the painting better. So that Doctor Who season finale, that had me surprised. I did not think, well, I did not expect the Doctor to have previous lives before the first Doctor, but part of me thinks that's not true, because I feel like that would mess up the timeline, or like the timeline the show created. So yeah, I don't know what to think about it. I don't have strong opinions, and so I'm pretty open to most things, and I try to make sense of it. So I'm quite curious to see what they do, because they didn't really explain her timeline, and I feel like maybe that'll be the main plot of the next season. I'm also unconvinced the Master died during that explosion, because knowing the Master, he definitely did not die. He's definitely still alive. He found a way, because he was expecting the Doctor to kill him. So he wanted the Doctor to kill him. So he was already expecting to die. So he probably is not dead. Maybe he's gonna regenerate. How many times can the Master regenerate? I thought it was like 12. Where is the Master getting all these extra lives? Did he just steal them? Questions that'll never be answered, because that's why the Master is so great, is he can do all these things and nobody questions it, because he's the Master. Overall, I really like how this painting came out. I would say this is my favorite painting I did this year, because I was so loose with this painting. It only took me 3 hours tops, and that includes me not like just staring into space or watching a video or doing something else that doesn't involve painting. And it was just so freeing, and it made me feel better about painting, and made me happier in a way, because I wasn't worried about the little details. I had my paintbrush and I was just painting, and I wasn't worrying about if it was precise or if it was perfect. I let the paint do its work, and I think it ended up so much better than if I was concentrating on every single little detail. Like, just being free and letting the paint do what paint does. I think your results just work out much better than if you were trying to make it perfect and spending all your time on it. And I'm quite happy with how this painting turned out. And I definitely think it's not only because of the paper, even though the paper is amazing. If you haven't tried cotton paper yet, I definitely recommend it, even though it's kind of expensive. I got this on a deal, like I said before. But definitely, if you let yourself be more free in your paintings, I think your results will turn out much better. And I think that's what I learned from this experience. And going forward, I definitely want to be a little more free, a free bird in my paintings. I don't want to be a prisoner to my painting techniques. Yeah, and that's the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!